It's time for Monday movie pickup. I feel like I only have boutique Blu-ray releases this week. For the most part, there's a couple DVDs and a couple other things we're going to get to, but let's just get it going. Here's the Warner Archive edition of A Star is Born, the 1976 version, which I'm trying to get all the Star is Born movies. I already have 2018 version, which I'm actually ordering another version of that movie because there's the Encore edition. So yeah, they did a slight extended edition of the film, and I have to get that. I already have the 50s version with Judy Garland, and coming soon from the Warner Archive is the original Star is Born from the 1930s, which originally had a Kino release. But funny enough, Warner, since they already released all the other Star is Born adaptations, they decided, well, we might as well release the 1930s version, which from my understanding is in the public domain. It's pretty rare that Warner Archive would do a release for something that's in the public domain, but I think it's pretty cool. And I've never seen the 70s version, but just from this poster you can kind of get a sense of what type of movie this was when compared to the 50s version and even newer version. So we'll be giving that a watch very soon. Here is The Adventures of Captain Marvel. Yes, the original serial about the character that we know of today as Shazam. So I wanted to give this a watch. I've seen it recommended a couple times, and seeing as I'm trying to collect a lot of different superhero stuff, a lot of DC stuff, I figured why not go back to the originals, the serials, Captain Marvel. It was known as Captain Marvel at the time. Very interesting history, but I am going to give that a watch at some point. And then we have some Shout Select editions. So here's the moderns. The reason I bought this, well, it's going out of print. I don't really know much about the movie, but I'm trying to make as much of a complete version of the Shout Select series as I can. And if something goes out of print, then I want to buy it. I want to make sure I add it before it goes way too high in price. That's what happened with Buckaroo Banzai, unfortunately. So I will try to get that release at some point, but it unfortunately goes for $100 now. I even have a couple out of print copies of other films, so trying to keep up with it. I can't buy everything brand new, but if I know something's going out of print like the moderns, I'll give it a try. I actually bought this off of eBay along with another Shout Select film. This one here is called Endless Love, and I don't know anything about this either, but seeing that it was part of the Shout Select series and it was being sold along with the moderns, which would be going out of print. This is not out of print, but I figured, hey, two for the price of one, why not? It was a good eBay deal, so I bought that as well. And to cap off other Shout Select editions that are going out of print, this is the Anne Bancroft collection. It includes The Graduate, which I already own the Criterion of, but there's also a couple other movies in here, Don't Bother to Knock, The Miracle Worker, The Pumpkin Eater, Fatso, To Be or Not to Be, which, that is something I wanted to get because it's actually a Mel Brooks film that is not part of the Mel Brooks collection. Actually, if I even grab it, no, actually, To Be or Not to Be is included on here. There's a couple other Mel Brooks films that are not in that set, so I have to watch out for those. But there's a couple on here that are double dips, but for the most part, it's newer films that I didn't own from Anne Bancroft's filmography. So it's going out of print. That one went out of print, it seems like, really quickly. Unfortunately, a lot of these Shout Select editions have been going out of print faster than I would have expected, but that's why I'm trying to keep a close eye on the out-of-print page on Shout's website. And then I have a couple other of my currently favorite release of films, the Paramount Presents line. And here's The Last Train on Gun Hill. This is a film from the 50s, and it looks like a Western, looks like a good time. Did I say the 1950s? This might actually... Oh, 1959, so right on the end of the 1950s. And then, of course, there's some cool back cover art and everything. I just love these releases so much. I've been talking about them non-stop because it just seems like so much extra effort being done on Paramount's part towards the end of Blu-ray's lifespan. It's really cool that they're doing all these editions. So here's the 17th film to come from the Paramount Presents line. It's Mommie, Dearest, which I have heard a lot about this movie. I've never seen it, but I've been meaning to for quite a long time. And again, super cool back cover art, and a lot of these come with digital copies now as well. So super awesome releases, and I'm going to continue to grow that Paramount Presents line. I almost have everything now, so in the future I'll be able to just buy them as they're released, and I hear there's even a couple more coming out this summer. And then I have here, this is The New Adventures of Superman and The New Adventures of Batman. So there was The Adventures of Batman cartoon, But this was actually the other series that was made after, and I think this one actually features, this is actually Adam West and Burt Ward as Robin and Batman, which when compared to the other Batman animated series, which was made before, that actually didn't have their voices. This one does, and this came, along with the New Adventures of Superman series as well. So the older cartoons, but like I've said in previous videos, I'm trying to gather all the Batman stuff for sure, and I'm also trying to grow the DC stuff, because beyond Batman, there hasn't been, there's a lot of DC stuff, but a lot of it, if you own the Batman stuff like I do, you already have like 50% of everything that's ever been DC. Everything else, there hasn't been nearly as much as Batman. So I figured, well, I'm already this far, might as well try to get the rest of the stuff as well. Everything from Superman, The Flash, Green Lantern, just Justice League, everything. All the cartoon stuff. A lot of research though. Monsters Crash the Pajama Party. I've wanted to get this DVD for years. It just looks like the most ridiculous DVD I've ever seen. I've heard this is one of the funnest, and something weird video, of course. Basically, there's like a bunch of different random stuff on here. Short films of like popular, horror icons. Stuff like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, The Mummy, London After Midnight, all kinds of different things. And there's like weird short films, other weird like TV commercials on here. And apparently there's also like a real movie to this, because this was a show that would be done at actual theater, where they would have like live action effects. They would actually have like skeletons hanging in the theater, and anything to basically make it into a party, as is in the title. So I've wanted to get this DVD for a long time. It looks like a lot of fun, and maybe something that we can use for Halloween. So I've heard wacky things about that. One of the weirdest DVDs ever made, but I've wanted it. And here is Hot Rod. Now, my favorite movie of all time. Why would I want to buy this again? Well, this is actually a sealed version of the film. I originally got the movie from Blockbuster, which, whatever. I mean, all those versions were just basically, they were selling the ones that were rented out. But what's cool about this is that not only is it an unopened version that I got for $3 at the used bookstore, but it has a sticker on the front that promotes it as being from the co-creators of the SNL digital shorts, including Dick in the Box. So I thought that was pretty cool that they actually used that sticker to try to promote Hot Rod even further on its DVD release. And I will never open this. I just thought, hey, having an unopened version of Hot Rod is pretty cool, especially since it's probably pretty tough to find these at this point. If you're probably wondering, what are these? These are every single Bruce Willis movie released in the year 2021. Yes, he released 7 movies in 2021. Several of these are actually even released by the same director, and some of them even feature the same actor alongside Bruce Willis. There's 2 movies in here that have both Bruce Willis and Chad Michael Murray. This one looks like it was completely destroyed. When I bought, look at this, I bought this for like $1, but this whole thing is like falling apart, and I imagine somebody watched this and thought it was so awful they just had to toss it. As to why 7 Bruce Willis movies came out in 1 year, I have no idea. One of them even only has a DVD release. This isn't not even good enough for Blu-ray. It's crazy. And if you look at these 2 covers, it looks like it's from the same studio. I mean, it totally is Lionsgate. It looks like they're using the same kind of design for the covers, but even the Bruce Willis photo looks exactly the same. So I don't understand what's going on here. And this one even has Megan Fox in it. So I have no idea what to expect with these. It made me wonder, I'm like, does Bruce Willis owe a bunch of money right now? But since he released 7 movies in 1 year, he's going the Nicolas Cage route. I was like, I want to buy these. I want to watch them, possibly make a video out of these where I'm talking about the Bruce Willis 2021 collection. We'll see if it happens, but we're actually the people at the Cinema Swamp, we're gonna be trying to watch these and see what we can make of them. And I want to know, especially with these 2 movies, which these 2 movies literally look exactly the same. I want to know, I think some of these are even from the same director. I know they are, but I think these 2 specifically are from the same director. No, these ones aren't. But I know a couple of these are from the same director. But I wanted to see, did they get to the point where, some of these were even shot in the same day and just, utilize the same shots or storylines? I'm very interested. It looks really dumb. So, 7 Bruce Willis movies from 2021. Why? And he's already at it again. He's already released 2 movies in 2022. So it's like, are we going to have this again? Another 7 or 8 movies in 1 year from Bruce Willis? Man, he's one of the most prolific actors on the market currently. Crazy. Well, I'm going to give those a watch. I'm going to give some of these other classics a watch. And thanks for watching this episode of Monday Movie Pickup.
Thanks for watching the video, and special shout out to Lauren, Anthony, Anna, Kirsten, Spencer, Lucas, Ryan, and Robert for supporting me on Patreon. By joining my Patreon, you can get exclusive blogs and videos, and for just $7, you can get your own monthly movie review. I hope you stick around, cinephile, and have a happy, productive day.